Hey, what is up, guys? It is Rapmark here. So, doing my review of episode 2 of Miss Marvel a little bit late, but that was explained in the vlog. Eye issues. If you want any more information than that, go ahead and check that out. But anyway, let's get on with it. What did I think of episode 2? To be honest, I thought there were things that I liked, things that I didn't like about it. I think it was a lesser episode than the first episode, to be honest. Like the things that I would say I loved about this is I loved the cultural things. I loved, you know, all the just the cultural things of what they're doing here. Like her friend Nakia, how she always felt some people didn't feel she was brown enough, other people didn't feel she was white enough, but yet she, I guess she's a convert, um, or she comes from a mixed family. I'm not entirely sure at this point, to be honest. But anyway, yeah. So she sort of wears it just because that's what makes her feel like her. And you know what? That's very legitimate. And as someone who has gone through that myself, like I am a Latino, I come from Colombia, but I was adopted by a white family, so most Latinos don't feel like I fit in because I wasn't raised in that culture. But at the same time, like as I've grown up, it's sort of become more like I'm learning to know Spanish. Um, like I'm very fascinated in the music, the culture. So I kind of get this about being like in a culture, but not really being accepted by the culture. Um, and I thought that was really fascinating the way it was brought up, and brings a lot of truth about people who are sort of like have one foot in, one foot out, so to speak, in many different ways, um, in regards to, what they are and how they identify. So I did like that. I liked the whole, and I know this is that it, so I have seen an actual mosque, and I do know that there are separate sections. Um, but I wasn't aware of like how run down like the female. Like I don't know if that's a thing that actually happens in mosques. If they actually let the female section be run down, or if that's just for the sake of this show. I mean, I could see it being true, but at the same time, like I said, different cultures, different ways of looking at things. Like I just, but I found it fascinating. Um, I enjoyed how it talked, yeah, and also like how, women's modesty is to be preserved. That is another thing which I am familiar with, but I know there's also different nuances that depending on the country you're in. So, and the fact that this is a Pakistani family, so it's like that's the kind of stuff that's working for me. You know, and like all the all the different like sort of cliques within it. You have the Illuminantes, the old women who I guess were either first generation or immigrants from Pakistan, uh, who know a lot about, the old country, uh, very traditional, and they love to gossip. So you have, oh my gosh, I'm forgetting what the other ones are, but yeah, you have like the pious ones who, never get girlfriends. Um, I forget what they're called. Something bros. Just the I guess, very Americanized younger generation, and a bunch of others like that stuff. I loved, and this election that Nakia is having for the seat on the council, like that all worked for me. The things that did not fully work for me was this sort of like love triangle, will she won't she, between Kamala and Bruno, and this new character, Cameron, um, a new senior, and you know there's a point where she's at this party. He jumps in. It looks like he freaking belly flops, but I, I don't know. Uh, he plays it off like a champ. It really looks like he belly flopped. Like that was sort of insane, but whatever. And like I can see what they're trying to do, but it's just like I've seen this so many times, and it's been done better. And I don't need like this whole love triangle thing. Like again, I could see someone being about her age, in high school. If you like stuff like Boy Meets World or whatnot, man, I'm so old. Yes, I remember that show. Uh, then yeah, I can see why you would sort of enjoy that aspect to it. But I mean, for me, maybe I'm just too old. Maybe I don't know. It seems like unnecessary screen time that could be put into other parts of the show that I would like to see more of. There she starts her training in this episode. She starts with Bruno, trying to figure out how to control the light, and while it looks good for TV, like I was impressed with the CGI, it doesn't look as cheap as you would have figured. And it's very stylized. The whole show so far has been very stylized. Like, I like some of the things they did, like sometimes, with the text messages. And they do that again in this one, where it's sort of using neon lights and other, things in the background to sort of not show you the phone, but show you how this conversation is playing. I do like that. It's very it's something that I enjoy. But yeah, the whole love triangle thing I'm not a fan of, and the sort of I don't know if they're trying to be if they are bad guys or not. Apparently not, because from what I looked at, so the sort of cops, the Department of Damage Control, which according to what I've looked up, is a division set up by Stark Industries to sort of clean up the mess that superheroes leave behind, and as well as checking out any new super people, enhanced humans, whatever they call them, um, and prevent them from causing unwanted attention or negative attention, and just cleaning up again the mess. But they just seem like the biggest scumbags. Like the way they come into this, like they are essentially badgering what's her name, Zimmer. That's the Zoe, yeah, Zoe Zimmer. So she has her party. That's where she meets Cameron. That they start talking, and she goes to have driving lessons with him. Back to that in a minute, though. But yeah, they question her after the party, and then they're going like, we're going to examine and check out all the mosques, churches, whatever of the whole tri-state area. You know, don't be a dick this time. FBI's already watching them, and it's just like they felt so cartoony, and I really hope they have a better turn from this, because this episode is taking a kind of turn where I'm just like, I don't know if I like where the show is going. Um, it's avoiding some of the mistakes of other shows that I've seen, especially when it comes to Star Wars. Like, I don't think there's too much bad writing in this, other than the whole villain aspect and, again, the love triangle. But I mean, that just could be because those kind of stories just kind of aren't for me at this point. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, anyway, so moving back onto the, again, love triangle, which I'm also not the biggest fan of. Um, she meets at this party at Zoe's house, uh, agreed to take lessons, and Bruno is, so he remembers everyone's name except for Bruno. I don't know if it's deliberate. I'm gonna say it's deliberate. Forgets his name because he remembers everyone else's name. But anyway, Bruno is like very jealous. He wants to, you know, he's jealous that she's giving Cameron more time than she seems to be giving him. She's blowing off her training. And then he essentially pushes off this huge, essentially scholarship to go to. God, I forget what school. Is it Caltech? Maybe. I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry. Uh, but yeah, like full ride, and he's just like, "Can I have some time to think?" Uh, And it's just like, Ugh, Bruno, what are you doing? I don't know. This is the problem I have with, love triangles or stuff like that. Like if it was one on one, maybe I'd be more emotionally invested in it. But like right out of high school and a love triangle and this great opportunity, it makes me feel like either these characters are dumb, or maybe someone of the writing like assumed their audience is dumb. So I mean, there is bad writing in here, but it's not atrocious. Like a lot of the writing I actually love. I love the whole fair season, the whole fair scene. Again, I love her talking with her friend Nakia about her coming to terms with who she is. Uh, like there is great dialogue, and I do love that about the show. Like the chemistry between characters, I feel was great before they introduced this. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's just I really hope they don't milk this too hard, because there's only 6 episodes in this, and if they do, that's going to be that's going to be really tough for me to stomach and like not go, oh my gosh, looking at the page, Mosque Bros. Mosque Bros. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Anyway, that's going back to an old point way back in the beginning. But yeah, so back again. So there's a scene where Well, her through talking with Herberto, like he determines that it's something in her blood. It's not actually the wristband, the bangle, as it's called, that gave her superpower. She always had them. It just activated them. So something in her is special, and so it stems down to her great grandmother Aisha, who apparently brought dishonor to the family. And there's a lot of rumors to that she had a lot of lovers, that she killed a man. So a lot of mystery to this person besides the dishonor somehow. So yeah, we don't know. But yeah, while she's talking to them, this boy, to take an Instagram selfie, falls out a window, is holding onto some drapes, and so she has to kind of go and save him. And she's doing a good job, talking. She's gotten her powers at least on a basic level down, um, and she does actually rescue him, but then she gets distracted about all the fame, everything, and then she sees this woman, which I'm assuming is Aisha, I believe is how it's pronounced. It'll probably be better next episode when I actually hear it a lot more. Um, we'll see. I have still not seen episode 3 as of yet. Um, but yeah, and then he falls, and then she kind of does this whole plop, 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 and he sort of falls down like a plinko chip, and he hurts his ankle, but she does save him, so there's that. And then that's when we again get the Department for Damage Control again. They finally caught up with her, and they try to hold her with drones and pointing their weapons at. It's just like, what are you trying to do? Like, it's just so over the top, so cartoon. I mean, even with Winter Soldier, when sort of like you figure out that Shield has bad elements in it, that elements of Hydra have been part of Shield for ages. You know, they didn't become cartoony until the big reveal, and these guys are just showing to be so cartoony and over the top. And I'm just like, please give some nuance to them later in the series, otherwise this is not gonna turn out well. And please don't tell me that these are the main villains of the series, because that would be unfortunate as well as like, where is this gonna tie in? But we'll see. So anyway, what would I give it? So I think the first episode I gave a 7. I actually really enjoyed it. At least I believe. I don't know that 100%. Uh, but yeah, this one, ooh, I want to give it a 5, but there were a lot of things I actually really, really enjoyed, you know, um, about it. So I'm gonna give this a 6. And the thing that drags it down is, again, stop with don't play up the love triangle thing too hard, because that's gonna take me out of it. And like, please tell me there's either better villains, or like they're not actually villains, they're just woefully dicks and assholes uh, from the Department of Damage Control. Tell me there's something else. And yeah, that's oh my gosh. So as she escapes, she's picked up by Cameron, who introduces her to his mother. Okay, so I was confused. I'm looking at this now. So Najama and she's actually the woman from Kamala's. So she's different from Aisha. So yeah, okay, so that makes it a little bit more interesting. I'm still going to give it a 6 because again, they introduced elements that I'm just not a big fan of. And I'm just like, I really hope you're not going where I think you're going with this. So we'll see how I feel in the next episode. So anyway, that is it for this. I really hope you enjoyed. I am looking forward to the next one. I have some worries so far about the show, but I am interested to see what turn they take on it. So anyway, that is me done for now. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys next time. See ya.